All right. So we have the AFK exam coming up.
Yes, coming up. Good luck, anyone going to the exam.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Hope you all make it.
Yeah. Hope you make it. Hopefully you feel prepared enough.
Yes.
Because I just, there was one podcast we did, one episode.
You would never feel.
I talk about no one will ever feel like fully prepared.
Mhm.
But, just, when
You're working. You're working on it.
When you worked enough on it, like
Yeah.
when you put your efforts on,
You feel like at least you've exhausted your effort right now.
Yeah,
And
you did your best. So.
it's a good thing to talk maybe to the people taking the exam. This is their final weeks coming close to the, when is the date? Is it Feb 1st?
It's Feb 1st.
The exam? Yeah. So like, is that the regular feeling? Everybody's stressed right now. They're like, am I caught up? And some people are actually maybe not caught up and some people are, but the feeling, it's normal not to feel ready.
It is very normal. And I am noticing now, for example, this batch, people have, because we've talked a lot about what they need to know and how to study, and we gave them a lot of tips. We supported them as much as we could. So they are at a point where they know if they need more time or not. So some of them are like, I am going to repeat the course. Some of them are like, no, I'm going to the exam. They know, even though they don't feel fully ready, they know that they should go.
Well, there's also like different layers. Like it could be someone, is it their first attempt? Are they more,
cautious?
Are they very cautious, or are they okay for the risk of taking their first attempt and seeing what happens? And some people know, and they could be wrong. Like they might think they're ready and they're not, or
True.
So it's really a complicated. That's why we have our evaluation tests that help based on historical results to see what their chances are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a normal feeling to be stressed, feeling like, there's so much knowledge. How do they know? Because sometimes you think like you want to just say everything like out loud that you memorize, but it doesn't work that way. It's like when the question comes and triggers something,
It triggers
then
the memory.
you recall the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So any, and it's mock season. So that's
Mock season.
how's that going?
It's going well. I did notice that people are more stressed out towards the end. But I'm always trying to reassure everyone that, just don't give up. Like keep going.
You're always
You're
learning.
still learning
You're
from the
improving.
mocks. Yeah, it's still like part of the material, there's content. So just keep going. Like use the energy as fuel to like give it your best. Like you're so close to the, to the exam. Like give it your best efforts and try to like calm down. Not
it's
to
long days, the mock days, like when people are discussion, they're in like some people are different time zones, and so there's
that as
there's
well,
a lot there's more effort to be put in on that one day a week, but it's very important to like go through it as part of the course.
But for them, it's like 2 days, right? Because the mocks are the day before, so they do spend like 5 hours taking the test, and then probably another 2-3 hours thinking about it, just like, oh my gosh,
like,
what was the answer to that question? What did I get wrong? Or, so,
start looking
that's
in the
what
book,
I
like,
did.
what was that?
Like, what was that? But, and then the next day, which is like a full day lecture, basically, it is tiring, but
it's necessary.
It's so good. Like, it's what makes you practice, like, for the exam, right? Like, makes you feel like most prepared in terms of like time management or even
it's
emotions.
not just knowledge.
Yeah, not just knowledge. So
that's
really
one
good.
thing we care to teach people in the mock as well. It's not like just about the knowledge. It's also about how are you going to time manage. We teach them strategies on like to make sure you have extra time.
Yeah.
And the emotions.
Right?
Like how do you, there's going to be surprises in the exam. There's going to be things that push you off like a little bit or catch you off guard.
Yeah.
Do you freak out, or are you going to learn how to like, okay, let me just move on to another question, come back to that later.
Yeah. I feel like you used to give us this advice, and I just felt like, no, like I can't move on until I reached an answer to this question.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's the perfectionist in the dentist's
I don't know.
nature.
Yeah, I guess. But you were so right, because if we keep like overthinking, like we're wasting energy and becoming more and more nervous, like with one question. everything from then on is going to be affected. Like you're going to affect how you answer maybe easy questions that would come after that.
Yeah.
So just mark it, like skip, go back. So those kind of tips really help. It's good to practice in the mocks.
Because for me, like I've actually tried it for myself in the AFK, and then when I started doing that, it just became something that's always worked for me in the exams, and it's just it makes
You've always done that?
Not before.
Okay.
Like I kind of just started it when I was doing my AFK because I was like concerned about the time.
Yeah.
And then, but before, no, I had that issue where I need to finish the question like back in university.
Yeah.
And I would actually not finish sometimes. I'll get to the last, 10 questions and
then you realize, oh, I wasted so much time with that one question.
Yeah, you have to time manage, and you have to be, it takes discipline to let go of that question and move on. And then a lot of times I come back to it, and sometimes it seems easier than I thought it was.
It's not even that hard.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's like something changed, When
you get caught off guard, you're like, what is this? I don't know. And then you can't really find the clues when you're nervous. So just move on. When you go back to it, you have a different vision. You might even encounter a different question that kind of helps you answer that one.
For sure, that happens sometimes. And you come back where you're like, oh, I already crossed out this option. This option, I'll have two more. It feels, something about it feels lighter. Yeah. And, that's what I've been doing ever since. So we teach them the 40-50 strategy without going into too much detail. But basically that's been working. Other than that, knowledge-wise, we talk. What about emotion or any final tips also for the students that are going for the exam in this time, right? Like in terms of, there's a lot going on, from a coaching point of view, and
from a student's perspective.
Yeah.
I guess from a coaching point of view, it's after you finish the last mock, lightly review. Don't try to. Go learn everything now. Oh no, I need to review more and more and more, because you might burn out. You can't reach a burnout where you're not gonna have your best energy, your best focus for the exam.
You're not gonna learn everything in the last week.
You won't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
What we were talking the other day with the students, your green belt analogy.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Yeah, the green belt, black belt.
Enlighten us.
There's different.
It's so good. Enlighten everyone watching this.
I don't know how to put it another way.
But it's so good. You go.
But I guess it's when I tell them it's supposed to be, okay, you've learned this green belt level of knowledge, or maybe some people reach the black belt level, but if you're in a green belt level at this point, just focus on that for now, so that when you go to the exam or to the tournament, let's say you are practicing green belt thing, that you are a master of green belt. So that way you could win in that category and do well. If you're trying now to gain new knowledge, where you're trying to solve things that were still not, registered with you in the last few months, when you're trying to do that, it's like you're learning more moves now. You're
basically trying to be a black belt.
You're trying to be a black belt
when you're not.
When you're not, and then that way you end up kind of being not good in green belt and not good in the knowledge you already know, and not good in the knowledge that you're still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
So that's it. Know which level you've reached, whatever that is, yellow belt, green belt, blue belt, whatever it is you reach right now, and just focus on that.
Yeah.
I think
master your level. Yeah.
Master your level, because some people think just because I know this concept and it makes sense to me that I won't forget it. And they start looking for concepts that they don't get, and they start asking about it now. Oh, I'm confused about this. This whole thing is a problem for me right now. Okay, but what about all that other stuff you already know? Yeah. By the way, you might forget it in 2 weeks. Yeah. So review that, master that. Don't worry about everything new that you don't get that needs another time. 6 months, a year, whatever you're not gonna figure everything out in the last week. So. That's kind of did I come across?
I think so.
Help me with it.
No, I think so. It's just everyone in the process, regardless if it's AFK, ACJ, you need to understand, analyze where you are, your level. What's your level of knowledge right now, and try to accept it, because some people are just subconsciously just go I
need more.
Yeah, they want more, but no. Let's see where you're at. Master this level. It's the best thing you can do. Yeah. Unless you want to stop and go and repeat the course, like some people are doing, right? But just accept your level. if you're going to the exam now, like master your skills.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
You know,
And lightly now.
if you want to give
A
an
week
extreme example, because like the realistic view of this is like it's a bit in every subject, maybe, right? Or a bit in.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's say get an extreme example, right? Let's say someone studied all the subjects, and then they did never touched ortho,
Okay.
right? That's like an extreme example of what we're saying. And then the last week they're like, okay, now I'm going to start studying ortho.
Yeah.
What's this and what? Okay, you know what? No, your advice, just don't even open ortho at this point.
Yeah.
Go make sure the things you put 6 months into that you could guarantee.
You remember.
You remember. Yeah. Now don't even start opening because
Exactly.
you're going to miss this and that. That's like an extreme example. But in real life, the way it works is that they have a bits of these in each subject.
Yeah.
So those bits, okay, just put them aside. Focus on everything else. The 95% that you have gained, that you know. So
For sure.
yeah, I think that's hopefully helpful for them.
Yeah.
Another recent thing that came up was the blueprint. I think you had a session with the
AFK
students
blueprint.
about the blueprint.
Not just about. It was like in the beginning of a session, of a live session, we did discuss the new blueprint. Because some people were like, "Oh, does it change like what we're learning here? Like, is
Yeah.
it different now? Are the mocks still like reflecting
Yeah.
what the exam is going to be?" And yeah, I pulled out like both blueprints, like the old one, the new one, and we just analyzed it together. And there's not many changes. It's basically just different numbers to say the same thing, which is the exam is like most of it is going to be basic science, pathology, and pharma. And then the rest is all scattered, and some things like overlap.
Yeah.
With
Even
others?
like the old blueprint, like you can't even see that they follow it to the T. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you have all these random subjects in a category. Like it's not like saying pharmacology, pathology.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
all
like
mixed.
the blueprint. It's like mixed things, like cardiology with this thing, with that
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
and then any question that
was it?
could come from anesthesia, let's say, or for something, you could kind of justify it as, let's say, an anatomy question could be surgery, or could be anatomy,
Yeah.
or it could be depending.
Just
you know,
anesthesia.
could be anesthesia. Exactly. Like, so in the beginning, the blueprint wasn't something that you want to always like go by because it was already scattered. You want to focus on a different way of like, you want to learn everything, and let's say the green part of everything, what we say, like stay in the green circle, the foundational part of everything as
Exactly.
much as you can.
Yeah, and people were maybe being too literal with
Yes,
the blueprints.
that's
Like,
what it
no,
is.
we need to know this percentage of this percentage of that. And even the old one, it did say like at the top, it was like approximate percentage of questions.
For example,
so it wasn't even like certain.
Let's say a certain category was like 15,
There was
7%.
one number. Yeah, 7%.
Now
And
it's
then the new one-
5% minus plus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's like a five minus plus 5. So it's like, oh, so you could get 0 or you could get 10. Like it's still like,
Like,
very vague.
Yeah.
But like just know that this subject won't be as what's the word I'm looking for? Relevant as like pharma.
Yes, like it doesn't
They'll
have much
always have a
weight.
lot of pharma.
The weight of that subject is not like as the other ones that say 20
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And another strategy is other than the blueprint is like which subject gives you the best like outcome. Like for example, if you study pharma, you could actually answer those questions once you study, and it gives you a better chance of actually
like
answering
broader
correctly.
even like
And other people may not be able to answer it that are like kind of taking the exam without taking a course. But sometimes you could study something like prosto or ortho, study a lot, and sometimes the questions could still come tricky where they need like kind of calculation of like the procedures and you make an error.
Yeah.
You know? So what do you think of that like concept as well? Like
No, I agree. Also, like for some subjects, there's overlap, like we were saying. So if you study a lot of pathology and pharma, there's overlap between like pharma and anesthesia, like we were saying, or surgery. So you
patho
get
and radio.
patho and radio. So there are some, like there's more weight to those. So just don't. That's what I instructed the students. Like don't worry about the blueprint.
Yeah, that's not. That's right.
And yes, like the mocks are very much representative of the exam and how it could come. Sometimes, like we say, like they will have more questions of ortho, sometimes more questions of perio. They'll focus more on epidemiology. we never know.
And sometimes
Like,
the
what's
difficult
the
questions could be from
focus.
different areas too.
But like the bulk, like the main part of it will be always
Something from the content.
the heavy weight topics, right?
Yes. And also like the content will be like answerable, some of them, or no? What do you think? Like majority will be something you recognize, I would say.
Yeah. Like when
Might be
I
a
went,
twist on it, but
yes, like implant, for example, we had in my exam there were some like implant questions that even if I didn't know, like you could come to a conclusion. Like if you think about it, like again, like it was a question that I didn't do implants when I worked as a dentist. I don't have a lot of knowledge on implants, but okay, skip the question. I skipped the question.
Yeah, use the
You get to
strategy.
the end. Yeah, you go back to it. And if you think about it, like try to solve it logically, you can come to, sometimes you can come to a reasonable conclusion, reasonable answer. So that's what they could do, what people could do with some of those questions. But that's the minority. Like that's, to me, in my exam, I felt like I knew 90%. Like 90% I was good for. I was like, I know this.
Okay.
10% were like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. Maybe because I didn't master the material. Maybe because it was just new.
Some subjects you could study all like so much in it, and then they could
Still
if
get
they
it
want to bring you a
tricky.
question you don't
Yeah,
know, they
yeah.
can. That's easy. Like go
100%.
find some number that you have to only know it if you've seen this thing article.
Yeah, like a
and,
footnote in
Yeah,
some
like-
article.
Exactly.
They
So
could.
that's the thing. They always bring some tough questions from each subject,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, I think
No, I just thought it was a signal.
signal.
More
Now they're
scope here.
signaling. We
Yeah.
got it.
But there was something I wanted to say.
Yeah. So we talked about the blueprint,
About-
the green
yeah.
belt.
Mock 5s coming up.
Yes.
Our mock 5's so good. It's so good. I'm
It's
so
so good.
excited. It's the last one though. Like it's bittersweet because I like doing the
You
mocks.
enjoy the mocks.
Yeah, and then so the 5th one is so good.
All right. I mean,
So
I'm
I'm
excited for you. You
Yeah, I mean, again, like me, I love tests.
yeah, I like this too. It's fun.
You should take mock 5. You didn't, right?
As like
you haven't taken it
as-
as a student. Like
as a
you should
student?
try and answer it.
All right. I'll try. No problem.
That's so cool.
We'll do it.
Yeah. Do it. You should do it. This Saturday, add him to the test invite. Oh no, you cut it. Add him and he'll do it.
All right. So again, good luck to all the students, to all the participants, all
Yes.
dentists taking the exam,
Good
the AFK
luck.
exam. We hope you guys make it and
Yeah.
see you in ACJ. But
Yeah. Yeah, start the ACJ right after. It's best thing to do.
and hopefully these tips help them. Do we need to talk about any like day tips for that day? Do I have we have a
know
video
what?
online for it if they want. We could
Do
link
we?
it. Yeah.
No,
there's
I just
a-
want, okay. I would just say last week, don't just summing up. Don't overexert yourself studying. Don't try to learn things you haven't learned so far, like we said, and try to stay healthy. Try to drink
Sleep
water,
well,
sleep well.
hydrate.
Yeah, stay hydrated. All those things. Day of the exam, most people, I guess, won't sleep well that night. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like, don't freak out.
Yeah, that
Like,
happens to me sometimes.
It happened to me too. Like,
just accept it.
but instead of like tossing and turning and trying to no, I need to sleep and like getting more stressed, I just woke up for the day at like 3:30. I was like, okay, I'll just
Yeah.
start getting ready. Just accept, the day
yeah.
as it comes. Like, just accept it.
That's
Accept
part
it.
of it.
Try to make it a good
You know
day.
what you know.
Yeah, you know what you know.
And you don't know what you don't know. That's
Exactly.
it. So just accept what your
Just
level
like-
is at.
Yeah, control your emotions, deep breaths, and take advantage of the break. I always say this to everyone. Like, don't try to like just power through and like finish fast. No, like
Because
take
it's
your
optional now.
30-minute break. It is optional,
Yes. In my exam, it was
That's my
like a forced
tip.
break. Yeah.
but it was forced.
Well, yeah, we had like, because it was in paper exam only.
Right.
So it was like you do 3 hours break, 3 hours. So yeah. So
Oh, okay.
now it's optional. So
It's
take
optional,
it, take,
so no.
take the break.
Take the break.
Don't talk to anybody during the break
Yeah.
about
or
you know,
before the exam.
or before the exam.
Because what
Be
if
there
someone
early.
says something and you get nervous about what they're
Exactly.
saying or asking?
You don't need to hear all that. Nothing's
Yeah.
going to change things at that point that easily. So I like to visit the center that I need to go to the day before, or if you like just to know where it is, where I'm going. Like
Yeah.
that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I kind of
Yeah, that's a good
figured
tip.
that out. And plan the morning so that you're not I'm not sure how that works there. If you need to use the washroom or like,
Oh, okay.
and during the exam, is it easy or do they like walk with you or something?
No,
Oh, okay. Back in our day, like,
they did.
oh, they did.
No, I'm asking you. They did.
Well, you're in a on paper base, yeah. So if you need to leave, someone like probably takes you.
Oh, really?
And then you have to come back, and it's like a whole thing. So
That's good. So in the prometric,
Yeah.
no, you go. You need to use the washroom. You just go and you come back. Nobody. They check you. Like when you come back, they want to check you again. They want to do
Yeah.
like the metal detector thing, like all the security procedures. But
yeah,
nobody walks with you to the bathroom. Even like use the mocks for this. Like, time your water. I swear.
yeah,
Drink water before. Like use the bathroom, the washroom before the mock starts. Like,
yeah.
because you don't want.
You have to be able to last proper, like endurance wise. You have to be able even to concentrate.
Yeah. So it's all like endurance and like
Yeah. You can't take a break in the middle, like of the test in the beginning. Like you can't have food with you, like, unless do they allow food in the prometric?
No, not with you.
Yeah,
but
okay.
like if you want to use the
Yeah,
washroom, you can leave.
Yeah, yeah,
I think technically you can't. Like if you have your because you have your food out,
yeah,
right, out of the testing center, like the room.
yeah.
But if you're using the bathroom and you come back, you could technically, like if you have a protein bar, like
Yeah.
but your time's running, right? Because
Yeah.
they don't stop the timer for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like
for
so,
sure.
yeah, you just
No,
need
I get.
to-
Okay, so I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
All right.
we like talking about
Exams.
washroom breaks,
Washroom break.
exams. Yeah.
No, I think it was good. And just final, the NDECC results should be coming out. This is like irrelevant. but
Yeah.
people are waiting on these results.
They
probably
didn't come
gonna
out
be
today? I
tomorrow.
thought it was
Probably
today.
tomorrow, Friday. No, they didn't. We're thinking it was going to come out today, but it could be this week, could be next week. But that's another thing that's people to look forward to. We're excited about our new programs in NDECC as well, where we have now like a way to save and pass on NDECC. And that way we also have the mocks all included in our packages. So just something to look forward to. The results coming out, so it's exciting. We have students going, and good luck to them as well for their
Yes.
results.
And I'm interested in the course. We need to talk about
We need
this.
to talk about this.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're ready for the
Next
the
phase.
continued
Yes.
phase. All right. Well,
All right.
awesome. All right. Thank you, and
You're welcome.
see you next time.
Stop saying thank you all the time. I don't know how to